welcome to your literacy video for Wednesday the 17th of June. Today we're going to be looking at different sentence types. Now these are all sentence types you should be familiar with. Okay, so some of you are looking at 2A and list sentences, and some of you, depending on what sheet you do, are doing all three. So 2A, list sentence and simile. So let's look at what each one is. So a 2A sentence means a sentence with two adjectives. Okay, so 2A sentences have two adjectives before a noun. So the glamorous, intelligent princess kissed the grotesque, warty frog. So I've got the glamorous, that's one adjective, and intelligent. So glamorous and intelligent, my 2A, my two adjectives, are describing the princess, and they are separated by a comma. So the glamorous, intelligent princess kissed the... Now we could just finish that sentence with kiss the frog, and it'd still be a 2A. Okay, but this example is given as a double 2A. So kiss the grotesque, warty frog. Okay, there's a comma in between to separate the two adjectives. So an example when we're thinking of George's marvellous medicine is Grandma has thin grey hair. Okay, so thin and grey are describing the noun of hair. Okay, and they're separated with a comma. Sorry, my board doesn't want to work. Let's try again. There we go. Moving on to a list sentence then. So they are sentences that contain a list of items or actions or adjectives separated by commas. So it's a bit like a 2A, but this time it's three or more. So it was a long, dark, leafy lane. Or Jack entered the classroom, slammed the door, pulled out his chair, picked up a chewed pencil and began to write furiously. So there we've got, he entered the classroom, he slammed the door, pulled out his chair, so these are all actions he's doing, picked up a chewed pencil and began to write furiously. Okay, so we've got the commas in there separating each item or each action on the list, and we've got the word and as well for the final one. Let's look at an example when we're thinking of George's marvellous medicine then. So, Grandma has thin, grey and scruffy hair. Okay, so when we looked at the 2A, it was just Grandma has thin, grey hair. We've turned it into a list by just adding one more adjective and including that word and. So, has thin, comma, grey and scruffy hair. Let's look at another one. George put car oil, shampoo and paint into the medicine. So I've got a list of three separated by a comma and the word and. A simile then, okay, contains as a, oh, I've gone too far, or like a, to compare one thing to another. So the flames were as fierce as a tiger hunting for its prey. So it's comparing the flames to a tiger hunting for its prey. See, it says fierce as. Okay. The exploding bomb was like a bubbling volcano. So we're comparing the exploding bomb and we're saying it's like a bubbling volcano. So you're comparing something to another using as a or like a. So let's think of George's marvellous medicine. Grandma's nose is pointy and sharp like a knife. So I'm comparing Grandma's nose to a knife, and I'm saying it's pointy and sharp like a knife. George's medicine was as magic as a magician. So I'm comparing his medicine to a magician, saying it's as magic as. Okay, so we can use as or like to compare something. So you've got sentences on your sheets, and you've got to tick whether they're a two-way, a list, and you've also got to think, does it make sense? Okay, so if you're doing the mild version, you've only got to think, is it a two-way? So has it got two adjectives separated by your comma? Or has it got three or more and we've got a list? You've also got to think, does it make sense? Yes or no? So you're going to read the sentence, figure out which one it is, and there's a little key at the top of your sheet to help you. And you've got to think, does it make sense? So the magic medicine made poor old grandma explode. Let me read that again. The magic medicine made poor old grandma explode. Well, straight away, that makes sense. I'm going to start with that and circle yes. Let's look then. So remember, a 2A is two adjectives separated by a comma. A list sentence is three or more. So the magic medicine made poor old grandma explode. Well, I've got two adjectives there separated by a comma, and I'm describing grandma, so I know it's a 2A sentence. Okay, if you've got the medium to hot version, you've got to think, is my sentence a 2A, a list sentence, or a simile? And there might be some that includes two types. Okay, and you've also got to think, does it make sense? If no, explain why not. So we're going to look at one and have a little think. Everybody noticed Grandma's bent, straight nose, which was pointed like a sharp knife. Oh, I've got the word like. Oh, you're doing similes then? That was an indicator of a simile, wasn't it? As or like. So let's read that again. Everybody noticed Grandma's bent, straight nose, which was pointed like a sharp knife. Pointed like a sharp knife. Oh, I've got a simile. Let's go back to the beginning. Everybody noticed Grandma's bent, straight nose. So I've got two adjectives separated by a comma describing Grandma's nose. Also, I've got a 2A as well. So I've got two sentence types within the one. Then I've got to think, does it make sense? So everybody noticed Grandma's bent straight nose, which was pointed like a sharp knife. Have a think, what do you think? Do you think that makes sense? Yes or no? Well, I think no, because it's described Grandma's nose as bent and straight. Everybody noticed Grandma's bent straight. Well, bent and straight are opposites, aren't they? You can't have something bent and it be straight as well. They're opposites. So no, and I'm going to explain why. So no, because bent and straight are opposites. Full stop. There we go. So you've got activities like this. I'm sure you'll do great.